Hi, I'm Robbie and you're watching Visit Fort McMurray. Today I'm staying with Lucas Seaward, and he has an art exhibit going on here at Points North Gallery.
This new exhibition, the Contemporary Oil Sands, is an accumulation of about 7 years of photography. It's heavily focused on portraying the oil sands in a completely new way, where it's macro photography blended with raw, naturally occurring oil sands, encapsulated in a byproduct of oil, which is an epoxy resin. Like, I grew up in Edmonton, so being a close neighbor of Fort McMurray, when I came up here almost 10 years ago now, I was caught off guard. I basically realized how naive I was going in. The painted image of Fort McMurray was quite different than ultimately what I had foreseen. And so to me, it naturally evolved into wanting to have a conversation, a dialogue around the beauty of the substance that we feel so strongly about. It's quite contentious. It's a controversial subject on the development of the oil sands. But what we don't typically discuss in the context of this conversation is the fact that the substance is remarkably beautiful just on its own, and few people ever get to see it.
Cool, let's have a look.
This exhibition was primarily shot in one location on the banks of the Horse River that's just outside Fort McMurray. As more pieces are produced and various exhibitions are done and located in different parts of Canada, is that they will be divided based off of the locations that they were shot and not individually named per se. Each of the pieces have quite unique colors and movement that's going on. As they were shot on location during the summer peak periods and the hottest possible days. So you have these hot spots that are popping out, some of these white spots. What you're actually receiving is the reflection of the sky at the time. So you're seeing like a semi-cloudy, overcast day that's being blasted back due to the glossy and reflective nature of the oil that's oozing. This particular piece was probably half the size of your thumbnail, but when I noticed this for the first time in nature, I realized that this is something that a lot of people aren't seeing, and it needs to be addressed. It needs to be brought out and showcased because it is quite remarkable. So this particular piece was also shot on Horse River. It had this small, like, arching archipelago island spread aerial style that I was kind of lured into and wanted to try to capture. These protruding chunks are actually natural oil sands that were on location when these photos were taken, submerged and encapsulated in an epoxy resin that makes it quite industrial. So all of these pieces are really secure.
I'd like to introduce my good friend Florence. She owns the art gallery here.
I met Lucas in 2010 when he was just new to Fort McMurray. Yeah, we saw a whole lot of the bitumen prints as gifts, corporate gifts or wedding gifts.
This region, northern Alberta in general, was a very different landscape before the inhabitants, and even the indigenous people, came to this area. There was a lot of roaming animals, and in particular, the buffalo was one of those. The location now, mixed with the historical significance, just felt like a very natural fit to want to portray that and do that.
Do you have a Facebook page, or how do people get a hold of you?
Yeah, actually, my website's probably the best route, the most informative, and that is basically just my first and last name, which is lucasseaward.com.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you for watching Visit Fort McMurray. Today we covered Lucas Seaward's amazing art exhibit here in Fort McMurray. To take something like bitumen and turn that into something like art and have such depth and detail about describing the process is phenomenal, and it also just shows how complex the region really is. Stay tuned for more episodes. Thank you for watching.